All right, where do I find the video? It's all in. If you go to the boards and you go to Money Squad and then you go to business and then you go to PDT message, it says PDT message, it's all in there. But the video is also under business too. The video is under business as well. Awesome. Okay, so let's make this great. I'm thinking about myself being in a cafe right now, eating a nice omelet and with some extra salsa and sour cream, and having my coffee and my iced water, because that's what it would be like if I was in person. And some of y'all ain't never got to experience that. So, and we're having a conversation. Let's talk about, okay, well, whatever, if somebody has something, say something, but I feel like we need to talk about, well, Black excellence is going to be good, so make sure you guys are on that. I've been really containing myself so I don't share with you guys already what we're going to talk about. So make sure you guys are on Black excellence Thursday, 8:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. Make sure you guys are on and that your teams are on. But I think we need to talk about promoting and what that looks like, and then jumping back in. What's your and then what? What's your and then what? From month to month, how do you create an and then what that keeps you showing up with enthusiasm every single day? Yeah, does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense. Hey, good morning, everybody.
Hey.
I know Rachel, you talked to me. I'll talk about myself. Talk to me in particular about the and then what after I went diamond. And I think the biggest thing is just knowing after you get what it is you've been working for, or once you hit that promotion or you hit that goal, because it doesn't even have to be a promotion, it can be like a certain amount of money. What is your and then what is the next big thing? And so I know for me, with going double diamond, like that was a goal because it was what was next. But when I started, like diamond was the biggest thing I could see. So now my and then what is really just moving forward so my team can go forward. It's really not about me, and I'm still developing that, but it's more or less just about elevating others and helping others experience what I've been able to experience. And naturally, helping other people will get you what you want. But that's my and then what now? I know triple diamond means that I'm going to have, 3+ diamonds, 3+ diamonds outside of my grandpa. So just figuring out like your goal is bigger than you. You're working for people before you even know it. And just to continue dreaming, like what is the next big thing and why is that important? So that's what keeps me going. That's my personal inspiration, is just knowing, opening up those checks, seeing them grow every single month. Rather your increase is $20 right now or $100, it might be $300. We're all at different speeds and at different levels in our journey, but just knowing that the next big step is going to happen by you helping somebody else, reaching down and helping somebody else go executive, 400 club, or Ruby, whatever the case may be. So that's my inspiration. And then what?
Hey guys, good morning. This is Tracy. I want to piggyback off of Travia. And with the and then what, once you hit your goal, whatever that might be, whether it's 400 bucks, whether it's Ruby, whether it's executive, diamond, whatever that and then what is, once you hit that first goal, there are other people around you that have been impacted by it as well. And so the and then what for me for the next month going is not only helping them with their consistency and keep going, but being able to see my role in helping someone else. And so wanting to help more people, wanting to reach out to even more people. So then for me, the next month going forward, the and then what is, okay, I helped 3 or 4 people go Ruby. Now let me help 5 or 6 people go Ruby. Like getting the impact of watching someone else hit a goal that you once had knowing that you literally can help them because you've executed the steps to do it, meaning you can clearly show someone how to do what you did so they can hit their goal. That becomes the end. Then what? Who else can I reach out to? Who else can I help? Who else do I know that needs 300 or 400 or whatever? So for me, the and then what becomes experiencing helping others and then knowing that I can reach somebody else to help them do the same thing.
And I just to piggyback off of the two of them is to that, and then what is to see those wins in, for me personally, in my team, right? Like, so when I'm showing up to these calls, when I'm showing up and opening my commissions check and I'm excited for the increase, when I'm showing up and I'm talking about promotions, to be able to truly have my team there with me, right? Like right now, so much of my team is my family, where it's like, no, really being able to transition and shift the focus, where if I'm saying that this business can truly change your life, to allow and to see other people to experience and feel what I feel, to jump up and dance at a commission's, like our prelim party, because you're excited about your commission check, because you know that all of the work that you did actually paid off, and not that that work was done for you, but you actually did the work to get there. To be able to cast that vision to other people, while yes, I know that I have, I just hit diamond, but I know I have a lot more ranks to hit. But for me personally, it's hitting those ranks because other people are hitting ranks that they worked for, that not that we worked to get them to, but that they worked for. And to know that that vision is cast, that you can dream so much bigger than what you're allowing yourself to see. So for me, that's my and then what, knowing that, what, let's cast the vision. I want to see you, I want to record you opening up your check and you're excited about it, and that, wow, okay, if I did that, then I know that I can do so much more. So that's, for me, that's my and then what, and that's what makes that end of the month push like you've never pushed before, allow you to keep going. Like, no, I want to see somebody else do it. Like, I need to see somebody else do it. I need for my team to win, because this is what I'm telling them. I'm telling them that this can happen. So I need for them to see that it can happen.
Yes, being the example is always great. Reaching back and helping your team, because it has to shift. It has to be that shift to where it goes beyond you, so you can help somebody else. But then for me, it's also, what's the next thing for me? So what's the next tangible goal that I want to reach, whether it's a debt that I want to pay off, or I'm building my fund to move out. So that's what I'm working towards. So it's like, what's the next thing that I truly desire that I can assign the money to, or assign, my check to, or my cabs to, or, my fast starts to? Like, what's the next goal for me? So yes, you want to look down and look at your team and help them, because yes, helping somebody else is definitely how you help yourself. So that is definitely a part of it. But you also want to have you also want to assign something, or have a benchmark, or have something that you are working towards, because let's just be honest, if the people don't want to be helped, you still need to be able to progress forward, regardless of being able to help who you currently have, or just to keep going to find the people that want to be helped. You have to have something that you're shooting for and you're striving for, that you're going for. So yes, helping your team, yes, but then me assigning my wins to tangible things is what keeps me going as well.
And one of the things I did this week, and I actually need to go pick it up this weekend, is after the our Saturday meeting, I went ahead and sent the triple chart to Staples. I'm so far from triple, right? Like, but to see that vision, to say, okay, this is what I need, like, and this is what I'm looking for, is so much bigger than, you know, yes, we have to start, you need to get the Ruby to start, but it's like going so much further beyond that. And I think for me, what that's going to make me realize, it's going to help me qualify my distributors in the beginning, right? Like, is this person, do you really see this person as you're building someone out to hit a promotion? Do you see this person as being a diamond on your in the future? Are they doing, and maybe yes, they will come around, but it allows you to quickly be able to pivot and say, nope, for the long-term vision, they're not ready yet. I'm not going to completely let go of them, but when they're ready, they can come back. But I need to qualify somebody that's ready to run in the direction that we're trying to run, because this is a full speed train. We might slow down a little bit, but we're not stopping. And so I did that personally for myself, because I'm like, okay, I need to see the bigger vision beyond the, now I know ambassador and presidential will probably just make me crap my pants and, you know, and looking at it every day, but seeing triple and know like, okay, because that's still a lot, you know. But when I look at the number of lives that will be transformed, you know, like once that goal is accomplished, I feel better. But I know the vision and see, and sometimes we don't forecast out far enough. We're looking at right now, we're looking at what we have right now, and we're not setting ourselves up for where we want to be. And so that, like Saturday's call, y'all need to listen to the recording if you want to know, it was good. But it allowed me to say, okay, you got to dream just a little bit bigger and see further than what's right in front of you, and go and just go for it. And go for it. And sometimes it is a major pivot that you have to make, and and be okay with the pivot and understand that change is going to happen, being okay with that, and adjusting. And sometimes it's just adjusting how you work, adjusting your focus, adjusting what you do, adjusting the messages that you send. You know, like if 25 is not working, maybe you need to send 100, you know, like, and being okay with that, and knowing that if you do the work and if you plant the seeds, you will get the fruits as long as you continue to fertilize that soil.
Yep. It's about being clear about what you want and where you're going, being clear about where you're going. Like that's what it is. Being clear about where you're going, having a plan so that you can even pivot. Because if you're not clear about where you're going, you're not clear about the pivot. So it's really just knowing what it is that you want. It's that knowing that, and then what, and being very crystal clear on it. So that you can fight for it and know what it is that you're looking for. Like, go back to becoming, finding your person. Like, who are you looking for? Just being really crystal clear about everything. So that one, you're not wavering, and two, you can pivot and stick to the plan of where it is that you're going. You don't know where you're going, you don't know the plan, and then you don't know what to do.
I just wanted to share, I was writing everybody's nuggets down. You guys had some really good nuggets, because I'm trying to get myself off the blocks running every day. And my team is growing and everything, and I'm really excited about it. I think my why, my goals and everything, my, the debt, getting money for school for my kids because they're about to graduate, savings, investments, and businesses. There's a lot of what I want to do in business. There's 3 businesses in particular that I want to start, and I need the capital to do it. And that's why I came into the business, even for that. But I know that first things first, all these extra things. So those have kept me going and staying in the business. But now that I have my team, their goals and what they have set for themselves, that's like another layer for me that I feel like, all right, God, you put this on my plate and you saw it fit that I can handle this now. So I'm going to help them. So, just being able to lead them in that way. also results for my loyal customers, seeing the transformation in their lives and learning how to like take all these people that have helped out in the business, that have shown me some ways that I could do it with fitness and all that, and just getting my fitness off and launched so I can help these people get their results as well, you know, with working out and getting these products in their hands and just allowing them to flourish and see themselves in a way that they probably always have, but just never felt like they could make it and jump over that hurdle. So that's how I, you know, that transformation. I'm a yellow, you know, I'm like a blue first, but then I'm a yellow. And so I love helping people out and I love seeing them thrive. So that really helps me to keep my why in front of my face. And the last thing is future impact. I really want to change the city of Chicago and the communities and help out and just trailblaze something that nobody's ever seen. And hopefully if I do exactly what God has called me to do, that, you know, it'll be something that'll impact and people will want to do this in other communities and that help out because it's necessary. It's just necessary. I see my community and there's things that need to be changed in this community. So that's really my why, and it keeps me going now.
So for me, as far as in keeping going, I know last month I was working towards promoting to Emerald, and I was close, but I didn't make it. But still, I realized what I stopped doing, because at the beginning I was doing all my messages, getting up in the morning, giving God his time, and as for me, I let pride get in. Oh, you got this, so you can just stop sending these messages a little bit this day, and then this day you can stop doing this. So then I was like, man, what's going on? I'm not getting any customers, or I'm not talking to anybody about the business or anything like that. So like at the end, I realized, oh, you need to give God his time. Like that's who was doing it for you. It was not you. So like you need to get out your head. And then I also started reading, after I read Go Pro, I started reading Living Beyond Your Feelings. And oh my God, I was in my feelings a lot. So like I got out of my feelings and stopped thinking like, oh, this person doesn't want it. So like go ahead, send that message. Oh well, they go tell me or they not go tell me. So I started doing that. And then I was reaching out to my team, and then I feel like I was pushing them too much. And then I was like, no, this is what you need them to do. They gave me a why. They said this is what they want to do. So I was throwing that in their face, and then also putting my own why in my face. So I am now just putting everything in God's hand, telling him that, yes, you can take control. I'm going to do whatever you tell me to do. And looking at everybody else's testimonies as, yes, I can do it. And they came from nothing also. So why can't I? And as I started giving him his time and doing my messaging and doing everything, also, oh my goodness, Rachel, that I think it was last Monday morning meetup. The team meeting, where you was like, if y'all haven't filled out your calendar, because I have hourly calendar, I just hadn't filled it out. And then sometimes I would fill it out a little here and there, and then I really wouldn't go by some stuff. So I actually sat down, filled out the whole calendar from our calendar. I'm getting my office set up and every other thing like that. So like I have my little things. I have this set up. I have a binder. I have my calendar filled out for a time, so that and then I let my DTs that I do have, I let them know even if I won't be able to make it. So like I got my triple chart. I have my diamond chart. I had a diamond chart printed before anybody ever even told me to. So like, as you all say, you have to be a diamond before you're a diamond. So I'm working towards being where I know I can be and letting God lead me, and not worried about if they like some of my team, they haven't pushed as hard as I'm pushing, but I'm not worried about that because it's going to come. And when it does come, I'm still going to be here to help them. So if they do end up being blown up, being tripled, then I didn't leave them on the wayside, and then we're going to make it. And then also talking to my upline, and then using side people, and just using everybody that I have right here and the opportunity that I know that I have.
You go, girl. I'm sorry, Brittany. You go, girl. You just making me so happy. I'm like over here shouting on the inside. I'm like praise breaking. But that is so good. Like you are really talking like a 3%er. So that's awesome. I'm just excited to see you blow up. That schedule is whew, it is everything. It is everything. It is everything. So just leading from the front. I don't know why I just keep hearing like that why don't stop. That why don't stop. And you said something that kind of reminded me of myself back when I went Emerald, like just getting in that management mode, feeling like, oh, I promoted so I can kind of ease up a little bit, or like, I'm a Ruby, I'm an Emerald, I'm a Diamond, I've arrived. And it's like, no, that why don't stop. Like you gotta have it, and then what, you gotta focus forward, because listen, that diamond check, it will, like you gotta that why don't stop. You gotta keep moving forward to not only maintain, I don't like that word, maintain, reload, and all that stuff, but just to really what's the word I'm looking for? Thrive where you are. That's what we've been talking about a lot. So when you're thriving where you are, that is completing your steps, filling out your planner, staying committed, even if you can't get on stuff, you have it, an alarm setter, you have it written down so you can remind your team. Taking time with your newbies, Rachel said something really profound. Like we get paid $150 per hour, really, for our newbies. If we would just take the time and set that 30 minutes to an hour with them, is so much that we can get done. So I don't know. I just felt like I needed to say that why does not stop. If you need to write it down, but you got to keep going, because you'll feel like you're at a place and you're not really where you are in your head, because you kind of, you fell into pride. So that was good, Sierra. I'm excited for you and everyone.
Yes, but Sierra hit on something that we've been talking about, and it's that day-to-day routine work that Eric Thomas was talking about in this video that we were just watching. There, you have to continuously do and consistently do the work. So one of the reasons why we burn out, or it's, we get this fatigue, is we're starting off, trucking along in the beginning of the month, and then come the 15th, you like, and then you jump into a frenzy, and then you working to the end of the month, and now you tired. And then it's like a vicious cycle, when if you just continuously do that underground day-to-day work, which the consistency compounds, which we talk about that all the time. You might not see the initial results from the consistency, but you'll always see the success. You'll always see it at the end. So being consistent and doing the day-to-day work is how you create that cycle, how you create, what is the word you used this morning, Rachel? I don't know, but it's how you get your routine, how you're able to, just breathe and stay, like continue to move forward and press towards the mark and continue to build and not be burned out. You have to create that daily, consistent, underground, underlying work when it comes to reading. Because I'm gonna tell y'all, personal development and spiritual development, in the beginning, it took me a while to really, really see that as income producing, because it wasn't sending a message. Like I felt like, sending a message is what's going to get me the customers and distributors. So that's what I was really focused on. But no, even the personal development and spiritual development, it puts you in a great place to send the message, to get the results that you're looking for. So you have to do it all. You have to master the mundane. You have to. That's the only way that you'll continue to just have, a constant, a steady inflow of customers, distributors, and you don't feel like you're running around with like a chicken with your head cut off, because you been lackadaisical the first half of the month, and now you want to pick it up at the end, and it's just a cycle. So I know I've talked about that before, but continuously having that consistency, like consistency matters. Like everybody thinking about it's the time that you put in. Yeah, it's the time, but the consistency is the biggest thing. If you're consistent for an hour a day, at least, like you'll get consistent results, but just be consistent.
Brittany, I'm so glad that you like you brought up the personal development and the spiritual development, because I am one, like when we have these busy lives and we're so busy, we're so plugged into our phones, we're so like it's like social media, social media, social media. And I was one that I would start to read a book and I'll be like, okay, I'm falling asleep because it's not that constant, it's not really the constant stimulation, but it was something over the last month where it was forced reading time. Like, no, turn the phone off, turn your reading light on and read. And I can tell you, after reading, like then you start to crave it. Like you start to crave reading. Like I have a book in the dining room, a book in the living room. Like I'm reading, and it's personal development, it's spiritual development, and some of it is just a little, I need to read, like just reading for fun. But then once you get into the habit of doing it, it's almost like you're feeding your brain, and like your brain is starving, and it's like, oh yes, give me more of that. And I can tell you, it makes it so much easier to send those messages. It makes it so much easier to be able to easily delete somebody from your Facebook and not have any feelings about it, because like your mind is set up to not even allow the negative influences, the people that are telling you your business is a scam, and like you don't even allow that to bother you, because you're so full and you're so rich with the knowledge and the development personally. Because Rachel has always said this, it's a mind, it's about the mind, like over anything, because you will burn out if you are not, like feeding yourself spiritually. If you're not feeding yourself with personal development, you are going to burn out, because you're going to get tired of people telling you no. You're going to get tired of the negative Nancy's. It's going to be frustrating. And then you're going to be the person that says, this doesn't work. This don't work. But when you feed yourself and it's almost like you can't pour from an empty bucket. And if you can't build somebody else up if you are not working on you. So it starts with you. And again, if you're not getting on Saturdays, you need to get on Saturdays. Because listen, it gets me going. I kind of wish that Sunday was my day off, because I'd be like, okay, yes. But it allows me to go into Sunday knowing like, all right, I can take this day off and I deserve it. Like I deserve this day off. Like, let me take it off. And I just started logging out of Facebook, because it is very habitual. You pick up your phone, you instantly hit the button. That was a tip that I took from Rachel, like log out of your social media and turn off your notifications. And last week was the first time that I did that, and it was like, oh, okay, it feels like, it really truly feels like a day off. My mother said, I sent you a message in Messenger yesterday. Did you get it? I said, Ma, I don't go on Messenger on Sundays. Like, no, I'll read it tomorrow. Like, so it just do the things, even though you don't feel like, I don't see where I'm making any money from this. Listen, the money is not going to matter if your mind is not right.
Hey, I'm gonna jump in right quick. I would just like to say, Stephanie, she said something on the last call, and just go for the no. And that's just been like sticking with me, because I've just been in sales like all my life. And so just knowing like when you go for the no, like you just train your mind to think that. And with spiritual development, I had spiritual development down, but I just found myself this month just feeling like, oh my goodness, just feeling like, I don't know, a cloud over me or just something, but I wasn't working on myself personally. I wasn't working on my personal development as much as I was working on my spiritual development. And like you all have said, like, how can you pour into somebody else, if you're not pouring into yourself? And so I've started reading more. And so when I was sending out my messages this morning, it made it easy when I was looking through it this morning to be like, oh, they need to be deleted. I sent you a message the last time. I haven't heard anything from them, but me just filtering it out, I just noticed that how much time it was taking trying to filter out who I spoke to, who didn't respond between now. So it just kind of just gave me the notion of, okay, by next Monday, when I'm sending this out, it's the time frame where we're all working together. I need to already have these people cleared out, so I don't have to pick around and choose. It'll already be ready. So that's just all coming through, like with spending more time on my personal development and just knowing and my why. And just, like I said, just doing more of my personal development, because we're so busy trying to build others when we have to first build ourselves so that we can pour into others.
But yeah, that's it.
Okay, I would like to piggyback as well, like off of what a lot of people said. So, well, for one, especially like the personal development. Like when I first joined, I don't think I even read GoPro until like November, and I joined in September. I was like, trivia. I could see it. I was like really like I wasn't reading, I wasn't doing the things at all. And then once I started to like once I finished GoPro, that's kind of what everything changed. Like when I started to understand that like you really do have to do personal development and feed yourself, like pour into yourself. And that's when things kind of started to change for me. And then like doing the things like showing yourself grace. Like I know at first I wasn't taking off days. And I know on like certain like promotions, like at the end of the month for promotions, I wasn't taking my off days. And I remember I think this was the month of February. Like my off day was the last day of the month. And I wanted to go diamond. And I was debating, should I take this off day or should I not? And Travia, she typed me a message and she was telling me that I should take this off day. And I took it, woke up the next day, I wasn't a diamond, but I was like, I know next month is going to be my month because I took this off day. I know God is going to like do it for me the next month. And then he did. So just really showing yourself grace and doing the things that you're supposed to be doing. And then everything will work.
And shout out to people being soundboards, because listen, gratefully, I did go live because the Holy Ghost be knowing, okay? Because I didn't know your business. Brittany didn't call me. I didn't even know. I had no idea, but I felt it strong, and boy, I am obedient. So I was like, let me go live right now. Let me shut it down. But what's so crazy, I wasn't even thinking about my team. I was actually thinking about people outside of, that's why I was on my regular page and not on the team page, because I felt a pull, not just from my team, because my team know what's up. Even if they don't do right, they know right. I felt a pull from the field, which was crazy. Yes, it is. So I forgot what I was even gonna say, but this is good. I'm loving hearing you guys talk. I did want to go back to, somebody was talking about being a yellow. It was Jillian talking about being a yellow. And so I wanted to address that a little bit, because you can, and it's just from wisdom and time, okay? You can get so caught up in other people's whys that you negate how important your why is. And that is destruction. It will only get you so far. It really will only get you so far. And so I mean, maybe a yellow wants to speak up who's experienced this and is overcoming it. But I'll tell you, like, yellow, let me give you an example. So I happen to be, so I'm red, green, and reds do well with helping yellows pull out the beast in themselves if they let them, right? So a lot of my diamonds of the past were yellows, because they linked well with me. They linked onto my vision. They wanted to help me get to where it is that I wanted to go. They were a part of something bigger than themselves. But then after we finished the goal, there was no and then what, because they were never doing it for themselves in the first place. It was always just, I'm here to help you. It was never, and I'm here to help you. And of course that will help me. So praise God, I'm getting these checks, but I'm not really here for myself. And because you're not here for yourself, that can be hard, especially for somebody who is a yellow. Like you're always wanting to give and pour into other people, but at the end of the day, God put you here for a purpose. Like you have a purpose, and it's not always to be the supporting person. And sometimes it is to serve, but I bet you there's something that he's put inside of you that you're supposed to stand up and do, and somebody's supposed to support you. And sometimes people want to be a part of something bigger than themselves, and it shouldn't always have to be what they desire, because at the end of the day, you can be helping people underneath you reach their goals, but if they're not a part of something greater, it's not as fun. It's not, they're not a part of something. They're like, well, I'm going to go diamond because I'm going to help such and such and such. That's great. But at the end of the day, they need to know that they're a part of your diamond journey. It all comes together. It all comes together. And so you can't negate the fact that you're going diamond because you're helping them go ruby. No, boo, you going diamond. Like, let's be clear, I'm going ambassador, I'm going presidential. Like, I have a personal goal, but we get to do this together. And so, yes. Who want to talk?
I kind of just want to piggyback off of the obedience and listening and taking your off day. So this month I hit the ground running. So I've been up to like 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning working. And then remind you, I have 2 little girls. So they normally wake up between 6 and 11 o'clock, depending on what time they go to bed. Some nights they're up with me at 12 o'clock. And I'm just like, okay. And I was like, so like, I haven't had an off day. And I was just like, I'm going to get this. I'm going to get this. Like, my goal is to go Ruby this month. I'm looking to double promote. So I'm like, I'm going to get this. Well, my body crashed yesterday. So when I actually was I was like, I'm going to stay up last night until 4 o'clock this morning. Like I've been every morning. My body was like, no. I crashed at 8 o'clock. I did not wake up this morning until 8:30. I missed prayer. I missed everything. But this morning I was like, you know what? I was like, I should have listened, because everyone's been saying you got to take an off day. You got to take that one day to yourself. And me being so driven to promote and actually do what I want to do and be financially stable, I put myself on the back burner, because I'm like, I got to get this. The money's going to come, because even though I've been in the business for 6 months, I still make a good amount of money just from fast cash. So it's not about me promoting. It's just the fact that I know that I want to promote, because of the fact I see a bigger future for myself now that I've been in for so long. Because at first it was like, I don't need to promote. Like if I'm making $500-$600 off of fast cash, then I'm good. Like it's no need. But now I see something bigger, and it's like, okay, I want that bigger picture. So take your off day, be obedient. Like it really comes in handy, because this morning I'm up and I'm like, I feel so much better than I have these last few days. Like, oh my God, I got sleep. Like, what in the world? So yeah, just be obedient.
I'm cracking up. We gotta talk about this, okay? Let's talk about it, girl. And not you, we can just talk about it across the board for everybody. We're just gonna generalize this, and please, thank you for speaking up, but please don't feel like I'm picking on you. But
you good, because see, I mean, like even yesterday, I was sitting there and I like for the last 2 days straight, I've been on your YouTube page, like binge watching.
Oh, I get it. I get the hunger.
It was like, I woke up.
You have to explain it. Like I know exactly what
I need Rachel.
I know exactly. Oh, sorry.
Like I heard you in the back of my head, and you was like, "You're being disobedient. You're being disobedient." And I'm like, I need Rachel. Like we just don't do this today. So yeah.
I get what you're saying, but at the end of the day, like God will never put you in a position to where you are neglecting your responsibilities. And this is not, I mean, for you, just Lee, I'm just talking in general, where he will have you neglect your responsibilities in order to be successful. Like that is never a component. If your success causes you to have to neglect your responsibilities, that is not God. That is not. You are chasing something and it's not what he has for you. I'm even thinking about, as somebody was talking, I remember the month, I think I signed almost 50 customers. I think it was the month I went double diamond and 2.0. And I was just thinking about it and I was like, but did I cook dinner every night? You know what I'm saying? Like, did I stay true to what it is that I'm supposed to be doing? And if not, is that really my pace? That's not my pace. Like, I can't sustain that. I cannot be mom, be wife, and still maintain, because that's what I want. Like some of y'all, you know what I'm saying, you might be in a place where well, I just gotta get it. Well, that's fine. I've been there, done that. I've been doing this 8 years. I want a balanced life. And when I'm looking at people like, I mean, Stephanie, they don't have no kids, young kids in the house, their kids are out the house. But like, for example, when I look at Stephanie and Joel, it is how to explain it? It is, they have a pace of grace. Okay, they not staying up all night to sign no loyals. It's the consistency. It's the habits. That is what has them as a Black Diamond top income earner, number one, staying number one. That it's the consistent habits. It is not the overcompensation. The overcompensation will have you knocked out to where you can't even get up and take your kid to the bathroom. You know what I'm saying? Like, we'll have you to the point where you can't cook breakfast. You can't do nothing. Okay. Like, for real, it comes a thin line in life where you have to say no. This is why I always tell people the year of no. You have to say year of no. And a lot of times the laziness because of the lack of habits. Does that make sense? The laziness because of the lack of habits. So you're really lazy because you have no good habits. And so, like Brittany said, I think when the 15th, 16th come, you like, gotta get it in. Oh, gotta do the most. Like, now I'm gonna stay up all night. Now I'm gonna do it. And you're not used to that. You're not about that life. That's like an athlete who, hey, anybody ever tried out for a sport before and you didn't play the sport for real? Like, didn't play it for real. Y'all know what I'm talking about. So, like, for example, like, you want to be on the basketball team, but you don't ever play basketball. You only play basketball because you on a team. Y'all know what I'm Anybody know what I'm talking? Okay. Right. So you go to basketball tryouts and you about throw up during tryouts, but you really want to make the team, but you're not about that life. Like, you don't ever play basketball. You don't even work out. Like, you don't even play a pickup game. Like, you're not about this basketball life, but you want to make the team. So you going over and above, and you over by the trash can. Like, and then when practices come, because you done made the team, you sit here and evaluating your life. Like, bruh, I am not about this life, but I want to be on the team, so I'm going to do it, right? But then you have people who are not really ballers. And so when the off season comes, they're not playing basketball. They're not working out. They're not a true athlete. True athletes are still working out in the midst of off season. Most athletes, they intentionally do another sport so that they can stay in shape for whatever their main sport is. We know it. I mean, if you coaches or you play the sport, you know that you have triathletes for a reason, and they're a triathlete, but they have one main thing that they are committed to. So, like, for example, my brother sucked at basketball. See, if he was showing up, he'd hear me talking about him. But he sucked at basketball, but he played it. He ran track and he played football. Now, football and track were his sports, but he played basketball to stay in shape. And so even though he sucked, he would still be out there to do the workouts so that he could maintain and still stay in shape, because he knew he wasn't disciplined enough to do it on his own. That's why these places exist. This is why we have power hours. This is why we have open offices. This is why there is the community base, because most people do not have the discipline to get up and do it themselves. They don't. So thinking about that, like, you have to instill the habits. You cannot have the athletic build. You ever see that? You be like, oh, her body is so built. Like, boo, she works out consistently every single day. Like, when people ask about my results, it'd be like, bruh, I don't eat, like, from my eating habits to my workout regimen to, like, there are so many habits mixed in this picture that you cannot just say, well, I want what Rachel has, but you're not willing to. It's what he just said. Eric Thomas just said this. He just said it. You want to be a 120. You want to live the life of a 120 percenter. You want to have the things that 120 percenter has. You want to have a good marriage. You want to have good relationships. You want to be a good parent. You want to have a great thriving business, but you're not willing to do the things. You know, I think about my friend who kids go to bed at 7. I'm still praying about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm still praying for God to touch me. But I'm just saying, she went above and beyond for that to be her reality. And so when she has the space that she has, getting up at 4:00 in the morning, going to bed at 8. Yeah, you can go to bed at 8 when your kids go to bed at 7. You know what I'm saying? Like, certain stuff. But she worked her butt off to make sure that was her reality. I cannot compare myself to that because I haven't put myself in that place to get those type of results. So it's the same thing when it comes to the business. It's the same thing. It's the exact same thing when it comes to, I keep looking for somebody. Oh, there she is. Didi, how you doing today? She said, somebody just say my name. Say my name. Say my name. I ain't heard from you in a long time. What you over there working? Oh, you listening? No, you got something to say? You at work? I don't want to get you in trouble now. Oh. On her work.
I was trying to find my mute button. Sorry, I was going crazy.
Hey.
No, honestly, I'm just working and listening, but everything that has been said has been hitting. And I'm trying to find that balance as a mom, being a single mom, working and not comparing myself to everyone too. So, I mean, I've been taking my off days, but at the same time, like, my personal development is becoming bigger and better for myself because I've been struggling with it lately. I've been off the grid, not really off the grid, but not working as much as I should be because I've been not showing myself so much grace. But honestly, like, this month has been different for me mentally because I have decided that I'm really done with not doing what I need to do to succeed as a mom or even as a business owner, because I just told I woke up this morning, I was just like, man, I don't want to send my daughter to daycare no more, but I have to work in order to get going, but I need to get my business going so I can replace that income because I'm sitting good on the income that I'm making for work, but I really want to be great and not send my daughter to daycare because she doesn't like going. So I was just telling myself, like, right now it's just working on my consistency, working on my personal development, and just really just doing the things that I need to do to get going versus having my job stress me out because I can't just up and quit a job right now. I'm a single mom. I got a whole life I got to take care of, and I don't really trust the fact that I'm going to, I guess it's my belief that I'm going to continue to do the things that I need to do to make sure my business strive because I've been so inconsistent with it. So I'm working on staying consistent and believing in myself. And so far, I've been doing a good thing with myself and showing myself grace and actually doing better with my business and better with being committed to the journey that I've been telling myself, like the 90-day challenge that I'm on. So I'm being more obedient and honestly staying committed to what I set for myself. But I'm still struggling as a single mom in this business. I really am. I have a 2-year-old. I have no help. Her dad comes over maybe once a week, which is I'm appreciative of that. But I don't have no one just to say, hey, take my daughter so I can sit there and work my business while I'm working a 9 to 5. So it's just something I'm trying to figure out a good balance because I want this balance to stick with me for the rest of my life or for the rest of the time, I guess, until I can tell her I'm working. I quit my job, but I don't know. I'm just trying to figure things out. But yeah, I've been silent. I need to stop being silent. I've been really trying to get my mental together and really understand that this business, God put this business in my life for a reason. And I'm working on really establishing what that full reason is outside of just loving to help people and moving forward. But yeah, I'm working. So
Let's, if you have a moment, I would love to walk through this with you. Because what I'm hearing is, oh my God, you know that I love you, right? This is coming from my heart. Like, this is coming from my straight up heart, right? Okay. I am hearing, woe is me. I'm just hearing, woe is me. Like, woe is me. Like, my life, I'm a single mom. I have no help. The cup is not half full, it's half empty. And so, am I right or am I wrong? I'm right. Okay. So let me give you some help with and maybe somebody else can speak on this, but I'm going to speak on it from experience. Okay. When it comes to the place of woe is me, you have to mind your own business. Okay. You have to mind your own business. If you are not inspired, it has to go. Anything that allows you to feel worse about your current situation, it has no reign. Like and you have to become so self-aware that you are willing to say, yo, this makes me feel bad about myself. Like, for example, I always talk about when I used to watch Brittany Hayes in Florida every single day. And I used to be I used to be her prospect who felt bad that I didn't live in Florida. And every day I dreamed of living in Florida instead of sending messages. And so she had to go. Like she had to go because that did not inspire me to send more messages so that I could go to Florida. It just made me feel bad about the fact that I didn't live in Florida, right? That's what I'm talking about. So if you're following a mom that you admire and it doesn't inspire you to level up because there's too big of a gap in between you two, then they need to go. They have to go. It doesn't help you. It puts you in a place of coveting, which, I mean, some people don't know what that means, but it puts you in a place of just wishing you had their life. Like just wishing and dreaming, oh my God, I just wish, or just one day my life, if it just would look like this, and if my kid would act like that. Like, in all honesty, as a mother, I need you to want your daughter to come home for more than a reason that she don't want to be there. Because she how like, boo, I don't care if you want to go daycare or not. That is mom guilt because you feel some type of way. Like that is a personal problem. I'm telling you, it's a personal problem because it's something I struggle with. Is your kid really in danger? Is your kid really not being treated well? Or do you feel some type of way? Which is why I struggle with leaving my kids with people. Like, is it really because I can't trust you because I have underlying issues about being treated a certain way? Or is my kid really in a dangerous situation? Or do they need this? Like they need, my husband stayed with his grandma until he was 5. I said, absolutely not. Like, we're not doing that with our kids. Like, my kids need to get to know people, okay? That's probably why he like he is now, antisocial. No, I'm just saying, he like people. But I mean, that's a personal thing to really start to look at. Like, do I have certain things that are inside of me that are blocking me from being a great mom? And I think I'm being a great mom because I want my kid to be home with me, but I'm really not, because my kid needs the interaction with other kids. And they're actually in a great place. You know what I'm saying? So that's a whole nother thing to journal about. But in all honesty, like, you have to switch to your cup being half full. And you have to decide that you live in a place of abundance. Who do you hang around that makes you feel like you're a great mom? And if you don't have nobody, you need to start finding some people. What makes you feel like you're a great mom? And if you think for 5 seconds that you can't build $1 million business as a single mom, you are wrong. You are 100% wrong. And you don't need nobody to come get your kid to build no business and sign no loyal customers. That's wrong. You know what I'm saying? So, but then can you take the time to look at your habits? Like I said with my friend, what time do your kid go to bed? Do your kids still sleep in your bed? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's a problem. I'm talking to myself, you know what I'm saying? That's why my husband and I work real hard to get our kids out of bed, you know what I'm saying? Like, for real, this is reality stuff, because this is kind of like what Sierra said. The quicker you are willing to look yourself in the mirror, the quicker you can get free. This is real. Because when she don't even know, Sierra don't even know. I've been begging people to see how prideful they are for years. And Lord, she just admitted it. And I was like, praise Jesus. Like, that is so hard to get people to admit they're prideful, like, for real. And pride comes in so many different shapes and facets. And that's something that I had to realize myself. So the real thing here is, what habits do you need to create? What habits do you need to let go of? Do you gossip? Are you in group chats that you need to leave? Do you watch TV? What habits do you eat late at night? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, but this is stuff that you have to evaluate and look at yourself. And that's if you have a real why. This goes back to the hunger. Because when you're hungry, you'll do whatever. You'll do whatever you have to do to figure it out. And so, are you hungry enough to change your situation? Or are you just talking about it because it sounds good? Does it just sound good to stay at home with your kid? Like, our kids are going to school, praise the Lord. They are, even though, they daddy kind of sad, but it's okay. I'm gonna be sad when I take them, but then I know where it is that I desire to go. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know what we would like our life to look like. And in all honesty, with Trey, I didn't have a choice. I have a choice. With Trey, at 4 months, I dropped my kid off at daycare and I went to class and I had 2 jobs. I didn't have a choice. But I have choices now. And I put my kids in the school of my selection. You hear that? The school of I'm not just finding a daycare that can watch my kid. I am finding the school that I desire my kids to go to, the environment that I desire my kids to be in. And in any given moment, if I don't want to send them, I don't have to. right? So that's me taking control of my life. But the only way that I can do that is if I get my ducks in a row, my ducks, not Aaron's ducks. Not now, if I talk to Aaron, it's because I'm trying to get some advice. It's not so I can live her life. And so stop trying to live somebody else's life. You were never meant to live their life in the first place. But you'll believe that you were if you keep looking at it every day. And that's why I had to delete Brittany Hayes. I think she's great. But I wanted her pool. She didn't hire the au pair. I'm like, let me Google an au pair. How can I get me an au pair? Oh my God. Like, but I'm being so honest with y'all. I'm being 100%. This is in all honesty, y'all. Like, I'm being for real. This is real. I'm for real. I'm serious. Yes. Yeah. You got to get in the right space and understand that running away from this circle does not help you. It really doesn't. It helps you to come in and feel the things that you need to feel, you know. And when people, iron sharpens iron, that's really what it is. Iron sharpens iron. But you got to know that if, first of all, are you iron? Because a lot of people come out here and they wood. And so when iron try to sharpen you, you break. You know what I'm saying? Or you start burning. Yeah. So that was good. Thanks for sharing that, because that's just in all honesty, I'm sure that helps somebody else. Jesslyn, you got something?
Yeah, so I've just been like listening to what everybody has been saying. It's been very helpful and encouraging and stuff. Last month I hit a goal. I promoted to Ruby, and I was like really like going like relentless, because just by nature, even outside of having my own business, I'm naturally an overachiever. So it's hard for me to kind of like, if you like miss a goal once you set it, because I'm all about like goal setting and stuff. So when you miss a goal, if I do miss it, I'm like really hard on myself, because I have high expectations of others, but I have even higher expectations of myself. But in the process of going Ruby, all of my uplines and stuff, they were like, Jesslyn, you're going to close this 400 box. You're going to move this. You're going to move this. They're just telling me, like, I'm telling them, if I was telling them I'm discouraged or something like that, they'd be like, Jesslyn, stay consistent, because they're like, we see what you're doing. You're doing all the things that we've told you to do, you know, and stuff like that. Or even if we don't tell you to do it, you're taking the initiative and you're holding yourself accountable. Like, continue to stay consistent. And in the process of meeting that promotion, my faith was wavering before that because of issues with school and stuff like that. And just other stuff going on, but I didn't allow those things to stop me. I was like, okay, I know that the devil is busy, and I know that this is not the first time, and this is not the last time the devil is going to be busy in my life. And before you can find peace, you're going to have to go through some opposition. And I was just like, this is the devil trying to test me. This is the test. And I was like, he's tried to break me before. And I was like, and he's broke me before. But I was like, I've been through it so many times that now I'm like, okay, God is like, it's time for you to mentally level up. Like, you can't afford to react the ways that you used to react. You can't afford to be in your feelings and stuff like that. You got to get this done, even if it's something outside of the business. It needs to all correlate together in order for you to be successful. So I really had to up my level of faith, because the beautiful thing about God is that, like, even if you have just a little bit of faith, he's willing to meet you where you are. I just need you to have a little faith, just a little. I'm not asking you to have too much. I'm not forcing you. I want it to come natural. So it really took that for me. And then me putting my stubbornness aside, like, no, I need to trust my uplines, that they know what they're telling me. They know what they're talking about. Because it's hard for me to trust people. I'd be like, you got to set that tone for me, because I'm overly observant. And I'd be like, what are you talking about? I hear what you're saying. I need to see these actions correlate with these words. So it just really took me up in my level of accountability.
I think we lost you, Jesslyn.
I'm like, okay, where's this volume? I need this volume. I need this volume. Where is it at? So I really had to up everything pretty much.
Okay, you came back. Yes, that's so good. That's so good. You know, we can end talking about this, but what you said, I put in the comments, unwavering faith. Here's the thing. A lot of times we have faith for something for a moment, and that's the problem. God will meet you at the level of your faith, correct? But what is the level of your faith? Today it may be ambassador, and then tomorrow it's a 400 bucks. So the real question here is, what is your, let's talk about for April, just before we hop off here. What is your level of faith for April? And do you need to adjust it? And I'm not even trying to be funny, but people out here like I'm going diamond, but you don't have a diamond faith. You got a diamond faith one day, a ruby faith the next, executive the next, not even your steps to success the next day. Okay, I'm just gonna run my auto shipment on Friday. And then on Monday, you back, now you an ambassador. God might be confused. He'd be like, okay, where I'm meeting you at today? I don't know. Where we at? Where we at? I'm for real. And that's how people work this business, because your actions always speak louder than your words. And so go ahead.
So I've been hearing this the whole time. I need you guys to do the work because it's what we do. Not doing the work looking for something. Because when you do the work looking for something, that's why y'all like this. Because you only work when you see something, or if you don't see something in the time that you want to see it, like you chilling. Because I did all this work, I done sent all these messages, but if you really looked at our inbox, you would see that we're doing this because this is what we do. So when you worked a job and you did your daily tasks that day, you didn't leave the job with your hand out like, where my paycheck? You did your daily tasks knowing that your paycheck was just coming. And so it's the getting weary with well doing. You cannot get weary with well doing. If you know that you're doing what you're supposed to do, keep doing it, and just know that it's the law of sowing and reaping. Like, there's no way that if you're planting the seeds and doing what you're supposed to do, that you're not going to reap from it. What do I always say? You can't cheat the grind, but on the flip side, the grind cannot cheat you. Like, if you've planted the seeds and you've done the work, no matter when it's going to come, it's going to come. And so I need you guys to be trusting in that. Trust the process. What I say on Saturday, fall in love with the process. Like, quit doing the work looking for something. Do the work because it's what we do. It's the task. What do? We follow up with at least 50 people. What do? We talk to at least 25 new people. What do? We get up at least 10 host posts. There's no feelings in that. Do it. And as you consistently do it, you'll see it. And the only reason that y'all can't see it is because y'all don't do it. You never make it over to the other side to know that if you continue to keep moving, that you'll get there. But you stop so much that you never make it over there to not have unwavering faith. How can I say keep swimming? Because I keep swimming all the time and I make it to the other side. That's why I'm so steadfast in that. So if y'all need to read Galatians 6:9 every morning, get up and read it. Because listen, like that is what I'm seeing, and that is what I'm hearing. I mean, that's even what I preach to my squad. The getting weary with well doing, and y'all can't do that. So
okay.
Yes. That's real. That's good. and just being in love with the process, which is something we just talked about with leadership the other day. It's just you have, or not even, that was God Has a Plan. So if you haven't watched Saturday, go back and watch it. Because you have to fall in love with the process. And if you don't fall in love with the process, you won't be here long. Well, and that's why we talk about the little wins and finding things that really make you happy, because in all honesty, those of y'all who work jobs, y'all don't like your job. You might like parts of it, but you don't necessarily like your job unless you are in your dream field or doing the things that you like. But most of the times for the thing that's your primary source of income, you're not like in love with it unless you just started and you ain't hit your wall yet, So you just do it. You do it. There are parts that you love, but you do it. And I'm gonna tell you, for every job that I've had, there's never been a greater reward in what we do. The reward is untouchable. It's unmatched. It really is. And I just, for me personally, it's so biblical. It's biblical for me because this business humbles you. It puts you in a place of servitude on so many levels. You will not reach the top without you will not reach and stay at the top. Let me say that, without serving others and continuing to serve others. And you have to evolve. So it's ever evolving. You always are growing. There's always something new to learn. There's always a new space to grow or whatever. And it teaches you so much about yourself, about your life. On so many levels. It goes far beyond business. It goes into your family life, into your marriage, to your relationships, into your own health and wellness. Like you start looking at yourself like, I can't talk about my customers. I don't take my products. You know what I'm saying? I ain't running the auto shipment, So it just completely changes your whole life. And so that's why I love it. That's why I'm still here 8 years later. The checks are nice. I cannot say that they're not. And let me say this before I hop out here, because I remember what Tracy said in terms of, I forgot what she said, but she's talking about, getting the ball rolling and being consistent. And here's the thing, consistency does compound, but if you've never hit momentum, you don't understand what this business is all about. You don't get it. You haven't, y'all know how like the law of inertia, I feel like I'm not the science girl. Okay. But the law of inertia, and that right? Let me look it up. Lord help me. Let me look it up and see if that's what I'm talking about. Law of inertia. Are we gonna look up the definition? You're laughing at me. Okay, the law of inertia is if a body is at rest or moving at a constant speed in a straight line, it will remain at rest or keep moving in a straight line at constant speed unless it is acted upon by a force. That's right. But if it's acted upon by a force and you get that ball into momentum, you don't have to touch it. It will be going because it is in momentum. You just have to consistently, that's where you just have to press the ball. You know what I'm saying? Like you just have to press it to make sure it keeps going, and you don't have to use all of the force that you had to in order to get the ball rolling. Most people are not willing to get the ball rolling, which takes extra effort. And that's why they say a lot of times in the beginning, you will do a lot of things that you don't get paid for, but eventually you will get paid for a lot of things that you're not doing and you have nothing to do with. I know that because I'm a witness, and I can just coach and touch and give insight because of all the work I did on the front end. So yes, I sent messages until, I did all those things. I worked hard to get the ball rolling, like very, very hard to get the ball rolling. But now that the ball is rolling, I'm going to be consistent in doing my things to keep my ball in motion. I'm going to keep my ball in motion. And are there certain points where the momentum may slow down and I have to go back? At least I'm not going back to what I used to do in the very, very beginning. I still have to double down and do more work and get the momentum back up and flowing. Yes, it's just the name of the game. But if you've never entered that place of momentum, you have no idea how this business can bless you. You have no idea. And if you have not experienced that, I suggest you start to do the work and be consistent in the work. Like even with Leah was saying about, not taking care of your household, like, bruh, get your calendar out, like Sierra said, and fill that mug in. Fill it in. fill your calendar in all the way. You'll start, and then my calendar is law. I don't know about y'all, but my calendar is law. Like if it's not on my calendar, it ain't happening. Like we might have to reschedule. I'm so sorry. Like that's for real. So you need to start allowing your calendar to be your boss and start going by it. So if it says it's time for, because that's what you would have to do at a job. Like my mom's boss forces her to take a lunch. Like she has to take a lunch. Like she has to. So it's the same thing. So force yourself to get off and go take a lunch. You got to take a lunch, clock out. Like put your phone, you have to clock out and get off their time. So do you hold yourself to the same accountability? How do you want this business to pay you more than a job, but you don't hold it to a higher standard than a job? So all the things that you use as an employee, you have to move that over as an entrepreneur and treat yourself like that and hold yourself to that level of accountability. So, oh, you're so welcome. Oh, good. Yes. Well, I appreciate everybody's honesty and accountability today. That's what this is for. That's what the space is for. It's for us to grow together. I always learn something. It helps me see the needs of the squad. And I'm going to tell y'all this, it be the same stuff over and over again. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. It is. But if each one reach one, teach one, okay? Like that's really what it all boils down to. And who was it? What was we watching yesterday? Oh, I think it was American Idol, okay? So we watched American Idol. I don't know what time. Give me a few seconds. American Idol, like all the judges, they were like, oh my gosh, when you guys come up here and you apply the things that they don't even spend no time with them. Do y'all know that? Like they don't spend any time with the contestants. Really what they get, the critiques they get is when they on stage singing in the moment. Like they're not getting personal mentorship. Y'all know that, right? I mean, if you don't watch American Idol, whatever. So anyways, so they were like, I love that you are taking what we're saying and you're applying it and we can see your growth. So as a mentor, that is the one thing that we desire. Take what we say and grow, but only the hungry do it. Because every week somebody gets sent home. And it's only because they're not applying themselves at the level that they should be, or the competition is just that thick. And so the real question is, if you take some time to step back and listen to everything that your mentorship has told you to do, are you doing it? Or are you doing some of it? And I would admonish that 90% of us on here are only doing some. And you want the full results without the full commitment. And so do you need to take a step back today and just evaluate? Because I'm not fear. I don't run my business in fear. So I'm okay with people taking a step back and getting their life together. Like take the rest of the day. Like your message is not in the right mindset, ain't gonna do nothing no way. You know what I'm saying? Like go ahead and take the day, get your calendar together, get your life together, go grocery shopping. Like, praise the Lord. I don't know if y'all saw Keisha was on here and said she ordered her groceries. I'm so glad she listened to me, Lord. And I've been seeing her groceries come in while we be on the meeting, and I just want to get up and shout a little bit, but I ain't gonna do it. But that was just a suggestion because her life is, she got 3 kids. You know what I'm saying? You don't have time to go to the grocery store, boo. Like if you have that resource here, order your groceries, like take that off your list. You live in Atlanta, that a grocery store visit can take 4 hours, you know what I'm saying, between driving. That's wasted time. I'm just, you know what I'm saying? Like if you can do that, and look, like now she got so much more time, like time you didn't even know you had, right? This is why I'm going to the gym and I use the Peloton, because that's 3 hours out of my day. I just don't have time to give 3 hours of my day to that. So think about that. Today, I want you to evaluate what it is that you need to be doing and that you're not doing that today, because you are hungry and you have a why, that you're going to commit today to start doing those things. You can do it. Like you can do it. And I love that you guys talk so much about personal and spiritual development, because it all starts within your mind. Like, it says what the word say, as a man thinketh, so is he, something like that. Like that's real. Like it starts here. It all starts here. starts here. So let's get this together. And it's gonna be a great month. This is when the I found a customer while we was on here. Hey, and I was listening to y'all. I didn't respond back or nothing. So won't he do it? All right, I love you guys. I'm gonna pray real quick and we're gonna hop off of here, and it's gonna be a great day. Make sure you guys have your calendars all together. Okay, so 7 o'clock, we have the opportunity Zoom. That means that all those people that you invited and they watched the video, you can get them on the opportunity call tonight if they're free. And then Diamonds, I'll see y'all at 8 o'clock. So, and then Power Hour at 9 p.m. for those of you guys who would like to get in the workspace. Dear Heavenly Father, God, thank you. Thank you for this squad. Thank you for our willingness to grow and willingness to share, God. So many people with so much knowledge on here, so much insight that they have to give. And so, God, thank you for them being willing to open up their mouths today and share so they could help somebody else. God, I'm just praying that there's such obedience hopping off of here to start to implement the things that were shared, or even the things that are on their heart right now that they know they need to get in order, God. We just thank you for meal plans, being people prepping their meals for their families so that they can be more organized, making their beds, folding laundry. That's me, Jesus. Anything that needs to be done to put our houses in order, to put our minds, our hearts in order, God, finishing books, whatever it may be, so that we can fully operate this business by just doing our things consistently so we can see the consistent results. So we just pray you in advance for an amazing week. And thank you for how you are touching our seeds right now that they want to respond and they want to buy or become business partners. In Jesus' name we pray, amen. All right, y'all. Peace out.